During the Operation Sindoor, many spoke about the role of the BrahMos missile and the fact that if Pakistanis had a complete nightmare, it was because of the missiles that were being fired by the Indian side. The story of the BrahMos, how it came across, what went into the making of BrahMos and what were the challenges, whether at all this would have actually seen the final light at the end of the tunnel, that is something that many did not know. Joining us today is Dr. Sudhir Mishra, someone who has been at the forefront of building this missile right from the scratch, and the fact that you've been at a time when your institution has faced some of the biggest challenges. But Dr. Sudhir Mishra, before I get into the making of the missile, I want to know more about the journey of Dr. Sudhir Mishra. From where it started and what did you see, someone who has come from Jabalpur to the national capital, what was the journey like?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Please call me Sudhir. You see, I'm born and brought up in Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh. My father used to work in gun carriage factory. It's one of the ordnance factory set up by the government, and they used to manufacture guns. And since childhood, we used to witness guns getting assembled, going to COD, ordnance depot, and getting onto the train, getting delivered to users. So, very thrilling experience. And I studied at Government Model School, Jabalpur. It was one of the very prime schools set up by the government with very special funding. And that school really created a great foundation for many youngsters. And then did graduation from Engineering College, Jabalpur. Interestingly, we at that time, we had only that knowledge that there is only, for after schooling, you have to go to the nearest possible engineering college, which used to be about 2-3 kilometers away from home. We didn't know that other colleges also exist, maybe other than 4-5. No clue about IIT, no clue about NIT. So that's how the journey started, did be from there. And then educationally, I did my master's from IIT Madras. And later I did a PhD from NIT Warangal, but that all happened subsequently. Interestingly, after my graduation, I had 3 jobs in my hand. So one was in Atlas factory, the second was in National Dairy Development Board, and third one was in this DRDO. So my father, being a central government employee, he told me that the government job is best because it gives you pension. And that's how I joined DRDO. And those days, because internet was not there, information was not available. So when they said you have to join DRDL Hyderabad, I had no clue what DRDL does. After reaching there, so my father's wise advice of getting pension, it really helped me. If I had joined for the largest pay package that was being offered by Atlas Cycle Company, then I wouldn't have been involved in the missile journey. I wouldn't make
the BrahMos, we wouldn't have been talking about the BrahMos.
We wouldn't have been, and I would have made only the sports cycle at the best.
So when you went to Hyderabad and when you began your journey with the DRDO in Hyderabad, what was it like at that point in time in the DRDO? Let's be honest, we're talking about years back when we had several challenges. DRDO at that point in time, what was it really what would it look like at that point in time?
You see, 1984, I joined DRDO, August 16th. And a year before, the government has sanctioned integrated guided missile program. You see what happened, those days Dr. Arunachalam used to be the scientific advisor to Raksha Mantri and Secretary DRDO. So he was a visionary. He started all the major defense programs in the country. I think the government system trusted him a lot. So he started Arjun, He started ADA, Tejas program. He also started IGMDP and a few more big programs like Kaveri engine for
Finally,
the
it's
Tejas.
in the news.
Yeah, that he started. And he actually returned from US and he has seen the big world. So he joined back and he started all these. Now, Dr. Kalam came to DRDO, more specifically DRDO Hyderabad in 1983. And Dr. Kalam, you see, when I joined, I had no clue who is Dr. Kalam. And most of us, we used to treat him like a ordinary mortal, like he's an ordinary person and like one of us. But his leadership quality, it was visible right from the beginning. And the way he used to lead people, his attitude to technology and people, it was different.
What is that one story of Dr. Kalam that you would like to share? And because I've spoken to several people in the past, those who have worked with Dr. Kalam, they all seem to have one special story about him, something as personal as it can be. So when you say that he had a unique leadership quality, what is that quality that we're talking about?
I have, it's not personal, but it is my observation. You see, as a human being, we all like some people, we dislike some people because of attitude, behavior, knowledge, experience. So Dr. Kalam also used to have that. He used to like few people, but he used to dislike some people. But he knew that to do certain technical work, he needs everybody. Whether he is sitting in Calcutta or Chennai or Delhi or Mumbai, he may be more knowledgeable than him in certain area. He may be a very disliking personality, possessing a very disliking personality, or the attitude may be very arrogant. But when it comes to work, Dr. Kalam will forget everything. He will ignore all the personal dislikable traits and he will invite everybody. He will take the work from all, whether he is a young, old, retired, working, male, female, irrespective of the this background, he will take out the work. And we learned a lot from him, this quality. I personally learned. I learned that my work delivery is the most important. People are incidental. And let's focus on the objective.
What is that one thing that he told you?
You see, what happens, I have a very personal experience with him. He was a bachelor. So was I, 84, 85, 86. But he used to have food with us in officers' mess and dinner. Lunch used to be normally in his cabin, but dinner used to be with us. And in one of the evening, I told him, I was a young, very young boy without much life experiences. I told him, sir, the government has spending 700 crore rupees on IGMDP, on Integrated Guided Missile Program. We can open thousands of schools, maybe dozens of universities. We can provide power to the villages. We can provide water supply. I mean, talking in a very ideal manner, that instead of spending on the defense, let's spend on the civic amenities for the citizens. He said, very good idea. He used to say, very good idea. And you're a funny boy, funny guy. He used to say funny guy to, if suppose he's appreciating, then also funny guy. If he is, I will not say abusing, when he is trying to, show your place, then also it's a funny boy, a funny guy. So he said, funny guy, good idea. Let's talk tomorrow. I said, okay, sir. I thought he simply postponed the answer, or rather he ignored my suggestion. or he thinks that I'm foolish, I'm trying to, I want to see his job is vanished. If 700 crore is not there, certainly he is not required. I'm also not required. The next day he met me. He told like this. I came, yes. Yesterday you asked me a very important question. I said, yes, sir. Strength respect strength. If India is strong, rest of the world will respect it. If India is weak, nobody will respect. And being a citizen of India, you will get the same treatment. If India is strong, you are respected. If India is weak, you are insulted, humiliated. And today I can understand it. When we say that our passport is respected all over the world, it is respected because of our strength. It is when people allow us visa-free entry, they trust India, Indian system. So I feel that is the best learning I have learned from Dr. Kalam.
Dr. Mishra, can I be very honest? If you really look back at the DRDO's journey, it has had its own share of problems, its struggles. The fact that the government never wanted to spend majorly, defense spending has only increased over a period of time, and there have been takers of the budget, there have been the naysayers as far as this is concerned. I want to ask a scientist who's worked in the DRDO in the most difficult times, was there a point where you all were very sort of unhappy about the fact that when it comes to R&D in the first world countries, it was very different? Even forget about first world countries, for example, the Middle Eastern countries also were, pumping in a lot more money in research and building their own set of, missiles, but we were lagging behind. Can I expect an honest answer from you? What was it like at that point in time? Were you all a little unhappy with what was happening at that point in time?
Yeah. I always give honest answers. In the science, dishonesty is not accepted. It is not honored, and it's not good to be dishonest when it comes to science, because science is the truth. You can see it with your eyes, you can feel it with your hands. You cannot deny the achievements. At the same time, you cannot accept the failures also. So when it comes to the funding, in fact, I have been very, I will not say critical, but I have been very straightforward about the funding of our research and development. What I feel is that governments of the government, they have not realized the R&D ecosystem, the funding, the time it takes to develop certain things. You see, we are independent since 1947, almost 78 years. Earlier we never used to make anything. Now we started making many things. It's not an opportunity to name them, very difficult, impossible, but we make most of the things now. But the major R&D like if you want to make your indigenous submarine, tank, aircraft, it takes a huge amount of money and patience, and you have to understand that people will fail, scientists will fail. It's another matter that the government, in the government, when they spend some money, they expect that you have to be successful.
Right.
And you have to be successful, and if it is not successful, then the audit raises objections, and the government has to reply in the parliament. So that lacuna in the system has to be handled. How to handle, this is not a forum to suggest that, but I expect that somebody will find a solution to it. So,
but had we invested at that point in time,
no.
Would we have been in a different position today?
Okay, no, I tell you, just think about the number of flight tests, I want to give you one example. The amount of money the government has spent on the BrahMos missile program, let us take it because I know each and everything about it. We have spent about 532 crore Indian side, the total about between 1,000 and 1,100 because it was about $250 million project, 250. Creating the missile, design, development, manufacturing, marketing, everything. We have to do it complete in $250 million. The whole thing started in 1998. Today, the order value, we might have delivered already about 40,000 crore and maybe a lakh crore order in the pocket of this company. So imagine from the 1,000 crore, we have created a wealth of 150 lakhs crore. It can be more also because this missile is not going to be obsolete for another 20 years.
Why so?
Not many people, not many countries. I'll come back to it later. Now imagine this 1,000 crore has become 1,50,000 crore. There are other programs also in which very difficult to give the number, the figures. But imagine the country is having Agni 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how much money would have government spent? Maybe a few thousands of crore, not more than that. When it comes to Kaveri engine, the engine development program, how much money the government has spent? Few hundreds of the crore. And today news that with Saffron, it's going to be 65,000 crore. Now, if the government has spent maybe 6,000 crore, Chief of DRDO, Dr. Samir Kamath, has specifically mentioned that if you give me $1 billion, that is about 7,000-8,000 crore, I will deliver you 6th generation engine in about 4-5 years. He's asking 7,000 crore. But we are willing to spend 65,000 crore along with the French because it gives us confidence to develop a 5th generation engine. But we are unwilling to give 6,000-7,000 crore or 8,000 crore to Dr. Samir Kamath for developing a 6th generation engine. Imagine the difference.
So here comes the question of believing the
deficit, trust deficit.
So would you say in somewhere, I know I'm diverting a little bit, but because we're speaking on the sidelines of our nationalist collective, this is about ushering in new ideas and what is it that we as ordinary citizens can really do for our country. The belief is something that many of us feel is missing today.
Yes.
Can we really do it? Is it possible that India can do it?
Here I want to tell you one interesting thing. Today, because the government has trusted on the DRDO when it comes to the missiles, we are in a position to design, develop, manufacture, deliver any kind of missile, any type, up to any range.
Is it because of our scientific capabilities, or would you say it is because we're not being able to do so because we do not have enough resources at this point in time?
It is because of our scientific capability. It is because of the government trust. And
so then why can't we do it?
We can
do it. Why are we not doing it? Like for example, a country which does not have a 5th generation aircraft.
No, I'm talking about the missile.
Yeah.
In
the
missiles
we can.
Because the government has been investing money into the missile. You see what happened? That's where I tell that Dr. Kalam made a difference. When in 1983 the money was given, the government has seen that the money has gone into the right hands. The spending of the money is proper and the delivery has started. So they gave more money. They gave more and more and more money. But when it comes to the aircraft engine, what usually happens that aircraft engine takes 20, 30, 40 years to develop. It takes that much time, but the patience is not there. And what happens, our ecosystem is such that everybody says, you see, without naming the product, without naming the services. I want to give you an example. I worked in the headquarters, and for one missile system, we were negotiating with the user to compress the development cycle by 2 months, and we conducted the negotiations for 1.5 years. Imagine. 1.5 year, we are talking to reduce 2 months from the product life cycle. And I mean, this kind of things happen. I tell again here, there is no need of reform in DRDO. You see, some changes are always required in the system. Every system needs reform, but no major reforms are required in DRDO. The reforms are required in the user's mindset, their system, their procedure, their structural, the things which makes them to get it from DRDO. Reforms are needed there. In the Operation Sindoor, the Indian developed system have proved their mettle. And why? Because the government said nothing doing, you have to buy Akash. If you read the newspaper of 2000, maybe 2000, it was I think 2010, 2011. Then you will find the news that users are refusing to buy Akash because it is not giving the performance, the expected performance. Suddenly, the same missile has started giving the expected performance in the Operation Sindoor. Why? So, the same thing happened with our like Akash Tir. Government said nothing doing, you have to buy Akash Tir. Nothing doing, you have to develop, you have to get the Indian radars. So, that Indian command and control, that air network, it has been indigenously made by Bell. So, when it comes to the, almost everything, the government said, you remember Mr. Manohar Parrikar, late, great minister, he said nothing doing, you have to buy Tejas. They are buying Tejas. No accident, it is giving you the performance. So, same thing is true with Astra. Government said you have to buy. So, the government has to put their foot down. Government means the political system. Yeah, they have to say it has to be done like this. And the government has to say that I will give you funding of so many crores for so many years, but at the end of the time, I want to see the system out.
It's a result-oriented.
Result-oriented. And if you don't deliver, then a punitive action has to be there.
Dr. Mishra, if I traverse a little further now and come to the story of the BrahMos, which basically defines your large part of your career, because this, many would say, it's the most challenging aspect, because a missile as successful as the BrahMos today, other countries are eyeing. It has become the biggest talking point in the defense circle. In fact, the Pakistani said that they did not know how to respond, if you go by the comments that have been made by the leadership. So clearly today your stand is, you stand vindicated about the time it took to develop a BrahMos. I want you to share your journey of developing it along with your team.
You see, initially we developed the BrahMos missile for Indian Navy. So when you see, for every role, the technology changes inside the missile. Technologies means the hardware, software, that all change. From outside, everything looks similar, but inside, everything is different. So for Navy, what happens, it was anti-ship. So anti-ship means the ship is, we know the speed of the warship by which it will run away to be away from the missiles. So we calculate, okay, so this side I'll take 10 degree, this side 10 degree, it can go backward, forward, or maybe away. So my seeker should be able to take care of it. So I make accordingly my, here I want to tell you something interesting for your audiences. Missile is nothing but a mathematical equation. Equation says starting point and it tells you the final point. And you have to design the mechanical, electronic, electrical system to be fitted onto it to perform the functions, to deliver the functions. So this is the missile. Now, so we made it for the Indian Navy, but for Army it was different. Army said we have to make the missile which can hit the enemies behind the mountains. So behind the mountain means it has to vertical, not even vertical, it should be even other side. Other side means it should be at least 100, 110 degree, 120 degree attack should be there. So That means taking the missile to its extreme mechanical strength and bring it down. You see, my missile is moving with the speed of almost 930 meters per second, which is double the speed of a bullet, a machine gun bullet. It's double the speed of that. So to bring it vertically down, very difficult. It called for a lot of mathematical calculations, software changes, and then came a surround one. Surround, this word we took it from music surround system. So mountain, if an enemy is behind the mountain, you can hit it from the top, you can hit it from the side. So we designed the missile for both. Okay. Then the third was, the most difficult part was the air version. I tell you, being a leader, I have to pretend. Pretend means I have to act that everything is good. We are going to be successful. We are going to hit the target. So don't worry. But I knew that if mission fails, my head is on the chopping block. Okay? Because when you are in the professional job, you have friends, you have enemies. So your adversaries look for an opportunity to, put your head on the chopping block and sever it. So I knew. And I also knew that my team confidence would be shaken if I'm looking shaken. So I said, no, nothing doing. I have to look very confident. I think I have become a very good actor after that. So then in the air version, what happens, anything which flies in the air, you travel very frequently. You know, when the aircraft takes off or land, it is shaking violently, and it is at the highest risk. The system is performing at its maximum load, maximum vibration, maximum pressure, and all the subsystems, they have to perform at their peak. Then only you can safely go up in the sky. The same thing is true with the missile. So, and you see, aircraft, you have only the engine. The missile is speed, you can, very fast, 1,000 meters per second flying. And you have to ensure that it reaches to the point target after traveling after 300, 400 kilometers, maybe more. So, and here I want to tell you that BrahMos can reach to many hundreds with pinpoint accuracy. Many hundreds.
The upgraded version can go away.
They can upgrade. I don't have access to the figure, but I can tell you that many hundreds of kilometers it can reach to the pinpoint accuracy. So I had to give confidence to my team. I had to pretend that we are going to be successful. And every time, whenever the test is going to be there, my heart used to, at its, I'm sure, must be 100, must be 200, 140.
So was there a time when you all felt that, okay, it's got stuck because the fact that it was not completely indigenously built, you had to depend on the Russians?
No, you see, let's not use the word depend. But what happens, it's a joint project. Okay. So in the joint project, you have to create stakes of both the sides. So if there are no stakes from the Russian side, then they have no interest also. So we continue to use their power system, but rest of the components are ours now in the missile. And they are happy with it. Russians are happy with it. All the ground system is ours, right from launcher, command and control, reloading vehicle.
So what is it that we are using from the Russians?
We are using engine, ramjet, liquid ramjet engine. Okay. We are using from Russian side. We can make it very easily, no problem. DRDO, about a month back, DRDO has made a hypersonic engine which can run for 1,000 seconds.
Okay. So we no longer have to depend on them.
We no longer, maybe when we make a hypersonic missile, then it would be indigenous. But this missile is supersonic. Supersonic means the speed is more than 1 Mach. Right. It's about 3 Mach. 3 times speed of the sound.
This is by far, if you really look at it from the operational point of view, it's been the most accurate performing missile of India at this point in time?
Yes, I say so.
And what about the follow-up?
The follow-up is, you can go hypersonic. In the recent Iran-Israel war, you have seen that Iran has used a hypersonic missile, which Israel could not stop despite having Aero system or
The Iron Dome
Patriot air defense system, they could not stop it. So normal missile they have stopped, but hypersonic they could not stop. So India has to design, develop, produce hypersonic missile, which will be impossible for any enemy to stop. And we have capability. We need funding and time to design, deliver to the users. We would.
One final question that I want to ask you, Dr. Mishra, as a member of the nationalist collective. The reason why I'm asking you is this, that for any of us who are nationalists, it is not about just glorification of our country. It is also identifying where we are lacking so that we can not only better ourselves, we are in a position to learn and grow. As a scientist who has worked in very challenging times, now of course things have really changed. What do you really believe needs to be done to make us a more secure country?
Thank you. I think your question is, it will bring out the best idea from my mind and from heart, feelings from the heart. What I look forward from the government is, the government should trust indigenous knowledge. Indigenous means Indian knowledge, present Indian knowledge, the technologies available, and create the big projects. Big projects means the big projects which are useful to the country, but which will generate the secondary technology in the country. So when they develop the secondary technology, that technology becomes primary technology for many other equipments. So we should come up with the major projects. I want to give you an example. Like you see, future technologies are, we have like nano manufacturing, we have quantum computing, artificial intelligence, space-based, underwater, cyber. We have large machine models, machine languages, and the systems which are going to rule the world. Drones. Drones are going to lead the world for another 30-40 years. Okay. High power laser, high power microwave. So we have to focus on these technologies and undertake the major projects. Spending few thousands of crore will not help. We need to spend minimum 30,000-40,000 crore every year. Then we would be able to develop these technologies. And they should keep on spending for at least 3, 4, 5 years. If the present government setup is not able to, undertake such projects, the government should come up with a kind of, a coalition approach where there would be private sector, PSUs, academicians, our government officials, they all would be involved. And the government officials would be involved not to enforce the regulations, but to supervise the proper spending of the money. And then India would reach to the next level of its technology. Otherwise, we would be able to create a technology which is India specific, maybe globally specific. If we are only the follower, okay, ChatGPT has opened, Gemini has opened, Gork has come. So we also will make an artificial intelligence tool within 6 months, 8 months. We are running behind. We should have come up with a artificial intelligence tool of our own. We didn't do that. And people say that you don't have data. We have huge data. We have data everywhere in the government. We could have come up with it. The second thing is, we should see the China. What China did, China didn't allow Facebook, Instagram, and so many other social media to come up in their country. They said, no, we will not allow. Possibly being a democratic country, we cannot do that. But we could have promoted. You see, the way Trump is promoting that social, what is the name?
Truth Social.
Truth Social. We could have promoted our own media. So That we can do. That is the second thing. Third thing is, the large projects takes time. They take 5 year, 10 year, 15 year, 20 year. They are not production based projects. They are technology generation based projects. So technology generation takes time. And apart from that, we should not use import as a foreign policy tool. So we should allow our own people to come up. And when it comes to the indigenous manufacturing, like government has fantastic scheme, Atmanirbhar Bharat, Make in India. So Make in India, okay, Make in India, but how to make in India? Because is it assemble in India? There is a difference in the assemble in India and Make in India. So if we take example of a drone, how much % of drone is manufactured in the country? So we have to see that. And we have to also ensure that the manufacturing processes are available. Our institute should be told that you develop a manufacturing process to develop the wings of the propeller. That technology is not available. If available, the product is very expensive. So let's give a tax incentive there. Let's give it a production linked incentive. So many other schemes are there. What I feel that if we can identify 100 Kalam in the country, Kalam-like people, then India would be somewhere else within 10 years.
Give the wing.
Give the wings and allow it to fly. Don't give it a wing and put it in the museum. Please don't do that.
Dr. Mishra, thank you so much for speaking to us. And I believe if you actually give the wings, at least for people to begin their flight, I believe there is a destination that we'll soon reach. And the journey in itself would be quite interesting. Thank you very much, Dr. Mishra, for sharing your insights, your journey, because I believe that there is always something to learn from someone's story. And your story perhaps would also be a sort of an inspiration for many who are watching and perhaps take it forward from there.
Thank you, Shravan. Thanks for giving the opportunity to talk to your viewers. Thank you.
Thank you.